good morning, RVC, for all the people who have tuned in here today from all over India and all over the world. I welcome you all for this beautiful evening for this RVC meeting. So, the first thing, I just want to start this meeting with sharing the gratitude for our mentor, Professor K. N. Vasupalaya, for giving us this platform where people are getting an opportunity from all over the world to come across one platform and learn the knowledge from different networkers and different professionals all over the world. So, first thing, Professor, thank you so much for having such a beautiful platform, a system where people are learning and growing together. So, I welcome you all for taking your time and watching this video today. I really appreciate your commitment on learning something new in the business of DXN. So, if you are here today watching this video, I can surely tell you one thing. The kind of knowledge that what you're going to learn today is going to be one of the most finest and the most important topic which you have to learn if you want to build DXN successfully. So amongst there are seven skills that we have to master in direct selling. One of the important skill is called finding prospects. And prospecting is one of the most important skill in direct selling business because without prospecting, nothing else starts in this business. So today we are going to learn on this beautiful evening on a topic called prospecting. And prospecting is one of my favorite topic is because prospecting is the life inside DXN. Because DXN runs across this world with one single thing that is called communication. If there is no communication, if there is no connection, and if there is no relationship, this business wouldn't sail in the ocean. So today, my dear friends, we represent you a topic called prospecting, where I request you all to do only three things. Number one, cut down if you have any distractions out there, put your 100% focus on this training. Number two, make sure your notifications are snoozed, you're not going back to your Instagram or WhatsApp checking your messages. And number three, grab a book and a pen and try making a note of the training what is happening today, because today what you're going to learn is going to change the way how you're building your DXN business. And before I invite the presenter, I would love to share a few things about her and why she is the right person to talk about this topic today. When I saw DXN for the first time, I was quite skeptical, like most of the people, to start DXN. The reason is that I didn't want to start a direct selling business. And especially when I saw DXN, I did not jump into learning on DXN, but the name of direct selling kept me quite far because I wanted to build something which is a restaurant business. And then when I met her for the first time, she taught me the difference between an active income and a passive income. Why it is important for anyone to choose direct selling. And direct selling is an opportunity where a person can create a passive income source. But still, that person from educating me in that aspect and taking me inside business happened with one single skill called prospecting. Because the one who was not at all ready to start this business, I automatically get got into DXN, right? And today I'm passionately building DXN. How it all started is by her one important skill. She did that genuinely, but still, that is the most finest skill that she had pursued while building DXN business. So today I would love to welcome my sponsor, right? The one who introduced me into DXN, the one who taught me how to do prospecting, the one who will be the right person to teach you all on the subject of prospecting, because she is one of the finest in the subject that what you're going to hear today. And she is a senior star diamond in DXN. She is one of the right disciple and the student of our grandmaster professor sir, and she is building this business of DXN in approximately seven plus countries today. And this could be enough for you all to make you all understand she's the right person for us to learn today about prospecting. So without delaying much, I would love to give this stadium, I would love to give this mic over to Miss Sonika Nagesh from Bangalore, Karnataka, Rising Legends. So Miss Sonika, I would love to welcome you on the screen and please enlighten us about prospecting.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sam, for such a wonderful introduction. So, good morning, everyone. Good morning to all the people who are a participants of this RVC channel. I think RVC channel is a great platform for people like us who are building DXN so passionately to learn. So, even I am a student of it, and I'm so privileged that today I got an opportunity to here to share my knowledge that what I have been learning. So, today, let me start this topic of mastering the skill, the first skill that is prospecting, with a small story which connects to my heart. There was this guy who's named by Chris. He actually did not believe in the traditional way of connecting with God, like going to temple or going to church or mosque and doing religious things. But rather, he believed in God, and he always felt that connection with God is more important rather than going and doing all the traditional things. So while he was going to a job every time, he used to find a church on his road. So he used to stop by the church. He used to see the Jesus and say, "Hi, Jesus, I am the Chris here." So he used to do this every single day. So whenever he was going towards the job, every single day, he used to stop by near the church and he used to say, "Hi, Jesus, the Chris here." However, looking at this activity of Chris, all his family, friends were started mocking at him and started telling that this is not the way you connect to the God. You should go inside the church, you should pray, you should light the candle, otherwise it's like a sin. So you will not be blessed by the God. So these were all the negative comments the Chris used to get. But however, Chris did not listen to anyone. The only thing which he did consistently was he went nearby the church. He stopped at the door of the church every time he was going towards the job and he just said, "Hi, Jesus, I am Chris here." But one day, while he was going towards the job, unfortunately, he met with an accident. And somehow there was somebody who took him to the hospital, nearby hospital, and luckily he is the life was not in danger. He had just got certain scratches and a little ligament tear, but the doctor said that you will be absolutely okay, but then you need to be taking rest, a bed rest for at least a month. Now the time had come where all his family and friends started visiting Chris one by one, and they started doing wishing uh, good healing, faster healing for his health. Again, some of his friends who came to see him, to watch him, again got a chance to mock at him. They mocked at him, saying that every day while going to a job, you used to tell that you used to say that I will stop by near the church and I will say that, "Hi, Jesus, I'm Chris here." Where, how can you meet your Jesus today? So, see, this is why I say that you need to go to the religious way, you need to do it in a traditional way, and that is how you need to pray to the God. This is not the way. So they started laughing, they started mocking, and then they moved off from the hospital. So, imagining all of this, Chris, in his own mode, Chris, in his own mind, started feeling that how can I meet my Jesus today? How can I actually meet my God today? Now I cannot get up from this bed. How can I cannot get up from this hospital bed or go and say or meet the Jesus? Now the silence goes by and he hears the voice from the background saying, "I, Chris, I am Jesus here." Listening to this voice, his eyes was filled with tears that the God himself had come to meet the believer, the devotee of the God. So the reason this story connects to me very well is because when we start DXN, I think before even we got this gift of DXN, somewhere we were always asking the God that give me an opportunity or give me a way that how I can grow my finances, how I can, have my freedom, how I can fulfill my dreams. And that's how the God had sent a messenger in all of our lives today. And that is the reason we are all here building DXN business. So I still remember the day that I took the decision of building DXN. And today I would proudly say that's the best ever decision. However, when we all start the DXN, we all want to do one common thing, that is to build a big organization, to have a big network of customer, to have a big network of distributor, to have a big network of leaders, isn't it? So even I also came up with the same dream to have that big organization. And we used to always listen from our Professor Vasupal sir that, we used to do a mass recruitment. So one day I go by, I asked Professor sir, if we have to really, have this mass recruitment, what is that something that we need to improve? So he taught me very important thing, and whatever he shared with me today, I want to share that with you all as well. He shared and he spoke about something important, which is called prospecting. If we want to have a mass recruitment happening in our business, he said it is important to do a mass prospecting. It is important to actually master the skill of prospecting. However, when we start the business, especially when I started the business of DXN, I really did not know what is the skill of prospecting. They say, right? Every master was once a disaster. So I was exactly like that. I completely dependent the business of DXN to build the business of DXN with the existing list which I had. So the existing list which I had made a mental list of 3 to 5 people, and I thought that if these people come and start the business with me in DXN, I could rock. But actually, the fact was, those were the actual people who rejected me in the business when I showed the opportunity. But by God's grace, I did not quit there, or I did not stop there. I still started building up the list, and I started seeing what are the ways that I could actually start showing this business opportunity or the products of DXN to many more people. Still, though I had built a list of 100 to 200 people, but as and when I was hearing no from each and every person, somewhere my heart started feeling that, oh, maybe I can't build this business. Oh, maybe my entire business was completely dependent on this small list of 100 to 200 people, which I already knew. So the more rejection I was facing, the more desperate I was getting to make the prospect say yes, or to make the person say yes to the business. However, that was the thing which I wanted to share with all of us. Everybody start building this DXN business as a poser and as an amateur like me. Even I was a poser, even I was an amateur, where I actually dependent on the existing list which I had, and the decision the existing list had to give, whether it is yes or no, to build, to start a DXN business. But as I said, that I was not a person to quit any business, and I had this attitude of never giving up. And that's when it was very important for me to figure out a way that how exactly I can start building or growing my DXN business. That's where I came across this book called GoPro, which is written by Eric Ore, where he talks about the first important skill, which is called finding prospects or prospecting. That's when I started learning and started understanding that every successful people in direct selling business, or every successful crown ambassador in DXN, had mastered this one skill, which is called prospecting, which means it is their job to find, connect, and grow the connections of the people. They did not limit the list with the existing list which they already had. Rather, they built this important core skill in the business, that is how to start the conversation and how they can convert the conversation either to a becoming a customer, distributor, or a leader. So that is the turning point in my life when I understood that is a skill and it is not a luck by chance. It is not that you have some existing list and somebody a big leader would start from our existing list and our business will boom and it's a lucky game. So I understood it was never a lucky game to become a successful in the business of network marketing or in the business of DXN, but it was mastering this first important skill of prospecting. So moving next. So today, what I want to share with all of you is what is this prospecting basically and how can we master it, and I'm going to share what are the ways that I was able to do my business, and I am actually the student of this subject now and I'll continue to be the student of this subject. And whatever I have done and I have learned in this course of last 2 to 3 years, I want to share that with all of you. So I hope all of you are ready with me to learn this first important skill called prospecting. So now why prospecting is the first skill? So it is very important, right? How many of us in DXN wants to build a big empire? How many of us wants to have a endless distributors starting our business, endless customers who are using the products of DXN? All of us want, isn't it? So imagine if there is no conversation that you are starting with the people, then it means you're not understanding a need of any people. If you're not understanding the needs of a person, then it means there is no presentation, then there is no team, then there is no growth. So ultimately we need to understand one thing: prospecting is the art of the business. It means it's the art of building DXN business, which means finding people who are open for growth and transformation, that is, who want health, income, and lifestyle. So remember, your size of your DXN business, that is the size of your team, the size of your leaders, is exclusively dependent on the size of the conversation. That is the number of conversations that we are having with people on a daily basis. So let's figure out how exactly we can start improving on this number one skill of prospecting. So can we move to the next slide? Okay. So as and when I move forward to make you understand, prospecting is nothing but the conversations with people. I want you to take back to give a little bit background about how one conversation has actually changed my life. So I was in the phase of my time where I wanted to really was looking for an opportunity of growth. I was did not wanted to really do the conventional way of job, and I really did not wanted to be stuck in that 9 to 5 job where I saw that how people are stuck in the trap of EMI, stuck in the trap of pay to paycheck. And I really wanted to live a life of freedom. I wanted to break the survival cycle and get into the dream cycle. And I was finding out or figuring out what is that way that I can actually, what is that way of living my life. I really did not know it was DXN at that point of time, but somewhere I was praying to God that please show me a way that how exactly I can change my life. I want growth in my life. I want to have that freedom in my life. I want to impact a lot of people life. I want to serve the society. So that was the thoughts even before somebody showed me the DXN. So when I was actually thinking and looking out for an opportunity, there comes a small message in my Facebook, and it was a stranger, complete stranger. So there was a message which happened stating that there is an opportunity that, and if you can start and come and meet me at this place and this time, it could be a life changing opportunity. However, on the first time I ignored because it was a guy and I really did not believe in the beginning. But The person, he did not leave the conversation there. Rather, he again edified the opportunity and he sent me saying that I'm going to make you meet the dynamic leaders, where if you get a chance to meet these people, your life is going to change. So here I am. I had asked God that I want an opportunity where I can change my life. It can be, should become a turning point in my life. And here I'm getting a message of an unknown person, especially a stranger in a Facebook, asking, saying that if you meet somebody, a dynamic people, you can actually change your entire life. So somewhere it triggered me, though I did not believe in the start. Still, I took some courage and went and met the people in the office. And I think that one meeting helped me to actually get into this industry of network marketing, and eventually that made me to start a business of DXN. And the decision which I made to start the business of DXN, today I'm so proud to say that today, when I look back, I feel so secured, because it has given me a lifestyle, it has given me a hope. The first hope, who wouldn't want to look beautiful, young, energetic, glowing as a girl? Definitely, we want to look young, energetic, beautiful. And what couldn't be the better way by using our DXN products? So it is actually like a gift in my life. And of course, as a girl, definitely we, as anybody for that matter, we definitely wants to have that sense of security to give it to our family, especially in terms of health. So DXN today has helped me, not just having me being healthy or me looking good or having that confidence within me, but also given me that hope of how I can provide that security to family, especially in terms of health. And not just that, today in the world where people are losing jobs because of the AI automation which has come up, if you would have seen that how people are thrown out of jobs, 9,000, 10,000 people are just getting vanished. I was having a one conversation with one of my friend, and who was in US, and she had literally had done MS, spent a lot of money, did lot of work, but today, because of the recession industry, I mean the recession which has hit the market, there are a lot of employees, including her, who is thrown out of the job, and now she's not able to work because she has not got that green card yet. And how life could become so insecure if you don't work on the skill. So today, having DXN with me, I don't have that insecurity that what's next, because God has given me that gift and opportunity, a hope that if I start working on this, then definitely I'll be able to build not just an income, but also can build a wealth. So nobody can take away that freedom, or nobody can take away that sense of security what DXN can give to us, isn't it? And third important thing which I have got because of that one conversation is, it has helped me to build myself. It has helped me to undergo a transformation in my skill set, in the personality. So today I don't have any fear that what's next. So where this all this courage and where this all this transformation in personality came in, it is because of DXN and that one conversation which I had with one the stranger, right? And I got connected with lots of beautiful people in my network, especially starting from my mentors of Professor Vasupal sir and DXN management and my team, and all the beautiful meaningful connections which I have got through DXN. I'm so blessed and so grateful, because it's not just that we are building business, but we are building a meaningful connection, and we can actually impact people's life. And what not could be that beautiful way of living life could be. So now imagine if one conversation can change a person's life like me. Imagine if we can have such conversation with many more people, how many lives can we impact altogether, isn't it? So I want to give a challenge, or I want all of you to ask yourself that one conversation today. If you are in DXN, definitely you would have had a conversation with a person, and you must be grateful for, you must be thankful for. So thank the person who had the courage to come and talk to you, had the conversation with you, and showed you the way that how you can actually build your career, build your health, build your income, build your lifestyle. So now today let us understand how we can master the skill of starting the conversation and opening the doors for all the people to create the impact in people's life. So can we go to the next slide? Okay. So as I already said, that one conversation can actually help so many people's life, like me. Now, what is this goal of prospecting? Goal of prospecting is simple, that we need to find people who are open to growth, health, income. We need to imagine that there is whenever we start the business, I think your mentors will say to start writing the list of the people whom you already know, isn't it? That's how we start the business. However, this is a way. Now if we limit the list to already to people whom we know, then it means, my friend, you're just in the way of building business like an amateur. But a professional will always find a way to find start the genuine conversations every day with new people, and how they can build the trust. So today you are going to learn how to start the conversation, how to lead the conversation, and also how to identify who is ready and open so that they can become your customer, distributor, or a leader. So next. So before even we go about understanding how do we start the conversation and lead that conversation into a customer or a distributor, I want to talk about some common myths that we carry within ourselves, that is the mental blocks which we have before even we start doing the prospecting. So genuinely, I want all of you to ask yourself, what is that mental blockage which I have today to increase my list of people or to start the new conversations with people? So let's figure out and let's clear that mental block before even we go out and starting the conversation. So myth one. First myth is, I don't know enough people. So how many of us think like that? I don't know enough people. But the truth is, even I thought like that, because I when I started the business, I literally had a people who, it was my college friends hardly, and it was my relatives, and it was my neighbors. I literally did not had any the people which I knew, or any professionals, or any doctors, or any lawyers. I did not know any professionals, so I thought that maybe I don't know enough people. But later I started getting to know it, we already know enough people. But the question is, we don't know how do we reconnect them back meaningfully, how do we build the trust, and how much belief that actually we are transferring to them. So this is the truth. We need to come out of this myth of I don't know enough people. The second myth that what people think while prospecting is, people are not interested in DXN or network marketing. So don't you think so? We generally think, or we assume before even starting the conversation with people, that oh, they might not be interested. However, the truth is, people are interested. All of us are open for an opportunity. But the question is, how are we approaching them? Are we approaching in a genuine way where we are connecting, caring, understanding their needs, and then offering the opportunity we have? Or directly we are just jumping in a mode of hunting? So we are treating prospecting like hunting. So we need to target the people and we need to show the business, and that's why people are running away. That's why you're chasing people out. So the actual question is, it's not about the people are not interested in business, it's about you, how you are doing it, how you're genuinely understanding the needs of the people, and then giving DXN as a solution, right? The next. So the myth three, prospecting means convincing. So we think that to build DXN business, we need to convince a lot of people so that they can buy the product or they can start the business. But actually, no. If you start convincing one time to buy a product, second time also you have to convince. If you convince first time to start, make a person to join your business or to start the business with you, second time also you have to convince that person to attend the training, third time also you have to convince the person to buy the product, to build the team. So it becomes just your convincing business. So it is not about convincing, my dear friends. It is all about finding and sorting who is open. Like for me, I was open. So when the conversation which I had over a Facebook from a stranger, the person did not have to do anything. What he just had to say is to offer, to understand whether I was open, and to offer that there is a solution. So, and that's when I started the business. So likewise, it's not convincing, it is all about finding people who are open and filtering it and not forcing them. Myth 4, if let's take, if somebody you're prospecting for a business or for a customer, if they say no, it means we think it as a failure. The game is end. It means the business is gone, there is a failure in the business. But the truth is, no is just not now. Every no will teach us something. There is something that we need to correct, and every yes actually requires a practice. So don't get disappointed by the no. Rather, stay consistent and practice the form of prospecting, that which I'm going to share that in couple of minutes right now, and detach from the result. So understand, no is always a redirecting S for you. Next. Okay, last myth 5. Prospecting is only about recruiting. This is interesting. So, what happens generally when I was doing business? As I said, I started it as an amateur. I was an amateur before even I understand it required to become a professional while building the business. So, when I was chatting in Facebook or when I was doing my social media connection, so instead of building a genuine connection or a conversation with people, I was thinking, okay, this person I should recruit. This person should say yes to my opportunity. And I felt so frustrating within when the person was saying no. But later, I had to first remove this mental block, and I had to understand that it was not about recruiting. Prospecting is just not only about recruiting, it is always building a meaningful connection, meaningful relationship, and then finding out if the person has something need in his life. And of course, we have DXN as a gift to give it to them, so that they either can become a customer, they either can become a business partner or a reference. But if your only sole intention of starting a conversation with people is to just recruit, I'm sure you will get disappointments after disappointments. So please don't do this mistake of prospecting only for recruiting. Right now, coming back to the right mindset, what should be your intention while actually conversating with people, while connecting with people? First, have this in our mind: prospecting is not selling, prospecting is not just recruiting, prospecting is all about helping. Prospecting is all about building a meaningful connection and not just a transaction. So, here I want you to think it like this. Now, imagine somebody is in front of you, somebody is drowning in a water, and here you have a tube which can actually help to save this person. So what will you do when the person is drowning there in the water? Will you sit there thinking that, oh my god, what this person will think if I actually give this tube? Will you think like that? Rather, what will you do? You will extend your hand to help. You will throw that tube and save the people's life, isn't it? So prospecting is like this. So if you do not build a connection, if you do not, there would be so many people out there who is praying God for an opportunity, who is praying God, I need health, who is praying God, I need freedom, I want to come out of this trap of 9 to 5, I want to continue. So basically, uh, I was talking about the core intention for prospecting. That is, it is not about you are basically giving a tube as an help to the person who is drowning, right? So think of prospecting like that. So there are so many people out there who are really looking out for a way to increase their income, to grow wealth, to come out of the 9 to 5 trap, to live a life of legacy, to have a personality development, to be healthy, to look beautiful, to retire early. So there are so many people who are looking out there. But if you do not have a heart to actually connect with people genuinely, how do we even give a gift of DXN to them? So the core intention for prospecting is not just recruiting, not selling, but helping. So now let us see that how exactly that we can start doing this or mastering the skill of prospecting. So can we move to the next slide? Okay, so now where are the four ways that we can find out the prospect? The first is your hot and warm outreach. So, what do I mean by hot and warm? It is simple. You start with your known circle, the where your trust and the belief with the people around you are high. So, if let's say if you call and ask that, hey, I have a need of 10,000 rupees, and somebody will not ask you that why, what, and all that, they simply trust and transfer the money, they are your hot people. Generally, I think for everyone, mostly there are 4 to 5 people who are hot. And but here is the warm is a big circle. So what is a warm people? It is nothing but you know them, but you don't know how much there is a trust or how much you have not reconnected with them. So think of it like this: hot and warm is one sector where that is a where you can find or start your conversation with and find out who is ready or who is open for an opportunity or who is ready or seeking an opportunity for growth. Second comes the cold outreach. Cold outreach means your offline networks can come into the picture in your events. You go to family functions, daily connections. Let's take you're traveling in a metro, you're traveling in a bus, wherever you're traveling, or you're meeting somebody online, social media connection. So that is what is a cold outreach. So what is this post organic value based content? It is simple, nothing but the social media. Today you see social media is a way where everybody are glued into. If you ask where is the biggest population today, it is on the social media because everyone is glued to their phone, isn't it? Ask yourself how much you're spending time on your phone instead of actually building the real life connection. However, if we can start utilizing this tool of social media instead of consuming it, rather providing it, it means to say rather you can start giving a value based content which can understand your offer, what you have in DXN. You can offer a health, you can offer an opportunity, you can offer a lifestyle. So what is your offer? Based on the offer, if you can start creating a value where people can learn something about it on your social media, that's when people will start reaching out to you, asking for you to be with you or to be partner with you. So that is how you can start bringing people to you through posting organic content. And lastly, running paid ads. This is something where you need to undergo this basic steps of hot, warm, cold, posting organic content, and then you start making money in the Excel, and then invest on running the ads where you can at one shot you can reach to more people using social media. However, though these are the four ways, let's understand the life skill, that how exactly we can start the conversation with people and how we can lead the conversation to know if they're open or not. So can we go to the next slide? So yes, so this is something which is my favorite because as I said, once a master was always a master was once a disaster. So I also come into that category because I was a kind of an introvert when I started this business, and I was super hesitant to start conversation with people. And that's how I said that I was only dependent on the existing connection or the existing list. But the minute I started learning this formula through, I started taking a lot of trainings through YouTube, through, I started investing on myself in learning. That's where I started figuring out this prospecting formula, which is told by one of the successful network marketing professional by Fraser Brook, where he talks about the three-step framework of this perspective, that how we can start the conversation, how we can lead the conversation, and how we can open them or lead the doors or open the doors for an opportunity of DXN. So I will talk about the three framework. First is find, add, message. Second is Lord. Third is ATQ, that is ask the question. Now, what is this find, add, message? So here you're finding every day. If you want to build your DXN business, always follow this. Find every day, find the potential prospects, whether you're meeting offline, whether you're meeting online, and try to add them to your list or your network by collecting the numbers or exchanging the numbers. Once you know that you there is a person, you should know how to start the conversation with the people and not a salesy pitch. I'll just give an example. Generally, for me, meeting offline is something I don't do it right now, but I'm very good in terms of how I actually connect people in online. So what I generally do is I will get into Facebook or I'll get into Instagram. Either whatever the post which I have done and people, anybody who has liked my post, or I will go into any groups where I want to connect the people with, maybe into entrepreneur groups or women's group, or the people who are thinking like-minded people, rich mindset people, growth mindset people. So I'll figure out the group of people who have like-minded, and I will add them in my contact, or I'll add them into my circle, and I will start my conversation in a way like, hey, hi, I found that you are a part of this entrepreneur group, and I am actually an entrepreneur too as well, and I love to have a connection with the like-minded entrepreneurs. By the way, are you in Bangalore? So that's how I start the conversation. So you can also start. Let's take, there is somebody who has liked your post. You can start the conversation like, hey, hi, I just saw that you have recently liked the post. I'm so glad that we are connected on Facebook, but we never had a chat. We never had a time to chat over. By the way, where are you from? So this is a way that you can start the conversation. Or maybe let's take, you already know a person in your hot or a warm. You can start a conversation like, hey, just saw that you've been rocking in in your industry. You're rocking in your job. So just thought of giving a warm wish for you. And I'm really liking the way that you are increasing, rocking in your area. So just thought of connecting with you. By the way, is everything okay at your family? How exciting are things at your end? So whatever the way is, make your genuine way, form your message, but find the people, add to your list, and start a way of connecting with people, a conversation which is creative to yourself, so that they are going to respond to you, right? So this holds good for both offline people whom you're meeting, or also to the people on online. Next. So when I am building business, it was always with me as well. So what is the conversation that I'm going to do with people? That to a meaningful conversation. I struggled a big time in this. So I used to get stuck that what is that I will talk to people, and how do I know what to talk to people? And when I'm building the business with some of my team also have this biggest question, that what should I talk to people? How do I know whether they are open or not? How do I know, or how do I spot whether should I give them an opportunity of a business or give them an opportunity of being a customer? So for that important thing, this formula works like crazy. That is LORD formula. That is location, occupation, reason, or you can also call what they do it in the free time, that is recreation, and the dream. So basically, what is this formula is nothing but it is simply helping you to connect and build a rapport and to know the need of a person or to understand the person. So here is a way where you can actually build a meaningful conversation or build a meaningful connection. So here one thing we need to understand is we need to not keep DXN in our mind when we are starting the conversation. The minute we keep DXN opportunity product, we look like a salesman, we look like we are targeting them, right? But if we can actually remove that for a certain period of time, and if we can actually genuinely focus on the person, they are humans, right? They are not a target. We have to have that heart to heart connections with them, understand. And yes, in that conversation, if you genuinely feel that yes, this person has a need, then put your DXN into as an offer. But if not, have that conversation. So how you can start the conversation, as I already said that I'll just give a few examples of how I do the conversation. So when I start the conversation, where are you from, or are you from Bangalore? So let's take, they say yes, and then I'll start the conversation with, oh, that's amazing, even I am from Bangalore. So that's a way of connecting. So what is connection? I want to little bit going make you understand. Connection is nothing but something common between the person you're talking and with you. That is a me too connect. Always remember, we like the people, how if we tend to like the people like if they are like us. So imagine like this, if let's take somebody talks in the same language. Let's take if you are from Karnataka and if you speak Kannada, we give a high five saying that, hey, I also know Kannada. And let's take if you're from Tamil Nadu and they start speaking in Tamil, you feel like, oh, I know Tamil, so he's also same like similar like me. Or let's take if you're married and have two kids, and the person who is also married and have two kids, and if you share the conversation, say like, oh, I'm also married and having two kids, and I understand that how the, how the responsibilities would have grown. So basically connection is nothing but finding something common between us, and we tend to like the people like us, right? So that is what the connection means. So let's take, I am you this formula will help you to find something common between the person and you can connect. And second thing, you can find out something, a good strength in him or good strength in her, or a background where they are working and what is that excitement that they carry, and you can find a way that you can appreciate them. So that's where the rapport will start building in. So you can start your conversation like, hey, are you from Bangalore? So let's say I say that I am also from Bangalore. Oh yes, so we belong to the same location. And then I'll go asking about how, what is that exactly are you doing these days? So let's take, they say that I'm working in a job, or they say that I have my own business, or I have my own hospital, or whatever they belong to. Then I'll go deep in asking about their occupation, because I am genuinely interested in knowing about the person. It doesn't matter whether the person wants to do DXN, whether I can offer the business, I cannot offer the business, that is a secondary. But if you do not show a genuine interest in knowing about the person, how exactly can you even give a solution if they really require? So let's take, if somebody says that I'm working in a job, so I'll ask a question like, oh, that's awesome, from how long are you been working? What's keeping you exciting to work for last 5 years? So let's take, they go back and start saying that, yeah, making money is something which is exciting me. Or maybe they say that, no, it has been so stressful, I'm looking out for a change of career. Here are the real answers which will come out from the people whom you're conversating. So basically what happens today, it's a busy world. Nobody is going to listen to anybody. Everybody is only interested on themselves, and nobody shows interested on the other people. But here you go, if you actually become a person who is a problem solver, if you become a person, if you actually show a genuine interest about the person who is undergoing certain pressure, undergoing certain stress, just keeping or everything away from your side and genuinely showing the interest that what is happening in his life, what is keeping him excited, or if he's feeling stressful, why it is keeping him stressful. So if, is he open for a change, is he open for a growth? So if you are genuinely knowing, and if you are going out and asking in next 5 years, if let's say you get a chance to build your dreams, what are the few steps that you're going to take? So if you really know about this person, that is a real way that you can actually empower a person. I have seen in my journey of building DXN, just with one simple conversation, a heart to heart conversation, a genuine conversation with people, it makes us happy and it makes the other people also happy. And that's how it can lead to DXN. And DXN becomes automatic because DXN is a way of life. DXN is a way where we can actually give genuine products to people. We can give an opportunity where for growth. Who doesn't want DXN? But the question is, are you really connecting from heart to people? That matters, right? So this is a way where you can start the conversation with people and have this rapport and connection and know them. Next. Yes. So the last is ask the question. So what is this ask the question? This is the actual transition from the connection and the rapport that which you have built to opening the doorways to know whether they are open for growth or not. Imagine if you don't even ask a person whether he's open or not, how will you even get to know whether he's open or not? Isn't it? So now I have learned this one formula, especially when I attended a lot of trainings. That one question, by asking one question, it can open up doorways for a lot of opportunities. So, a person named Matt Morris, I think if you have heard about his name, he is a successful business entrepreneur in direct selling industry who has earned millions of dollars, who struggled in the first few years of the business, but later he could able to build a very big organization. Today is retired from the network marketing industry with a huge income. You know how he got prospected? By asking a question called, he was doing a job of a waitress, I mean, in a hotel where he was a what do you call that, in a restaurant, the person who comes and or takes the order. So he was working in a restaurant like that. So here his colleague who was building a network marketing at that point of time asked Matt Morris, "Hey Matt, have you ever thought of having a business for yourself along with your job?" And Matt here, who was struggling in a job and he was thinking that I want to build a huge business, I want to change my life. The minute the lady asked him, "Hey, Matt, have you thought of building a business for yourself?" He said yes. And he saw the plan and he started, and rest is the history. So, likewise, you never know your question. The question that you're going to ask can change somebody's life. So, here it can depend on the background. So I can give you a few examples. So you can start with, hey, if I show you a business idea that can help you improve your health and also create a passive income, would you be open to know more? Or you can start asking, hey, have you ever thought of having a business for yourself? Or for college people, you can start asking, hey, have you ever thought of making some pocket money for yourself? For the ambitious women, you can start asking that, hey, have you ever thought of having a purposeful income? Just instead of trading time for money, what if you can start building a creating a passive income which can help you to have both money and time along with the work which you're doing? So find a creative way where you can start asking question to people. the this is the way where you can get to know if the people are saying yes or if they're open or not. This is the actual filtering process of the conversation which you're actually leading. If they say yes, then lead them to show the opportunity, invite them for an opportunity. Let's take if they're saying no. Let's take if they're saying no, I'm not interested in doing business. Let's take they say no, that no, I'm not looking out for any pocket money, no, I don't want to do this. Know that why they are not. So let's take, if they are not interested in doing a business, you can go out and asking them that, oh, that's amazing that you're not looking out for a business. I respect your opinion. However, may I know that what is stopping you to think for a business? So generally, every ambitious person wants to build something on their own. What is that stopping? So you will actually get to know there is a mental block in people's mind that maybe I want to have a big investment to start a business, or maybe I want to be very skillful. So they will share out the deep block which they have, though they have a big tree. So in this way, you can actually open up doors for people who are looking out for growth, who are looking out for to change their life. So this one simple question of yours can make a lot of difference. So now, uh, uh, I think the three-step formula, if I have to summarize, first is spam. You have to find, add message. It means start the conversation with people. Next is lot. It means lead the conversation, start understanding the person, start understanding the life of a person. And third, know whether they are open for an opportunity or not. By doing this, you will get to know that who is a person who is looking out or open for a business, and that's how your conversion can come in. Either you will decide whether they're open, whether you have to position a product, whether you have to position a business, or you have to position a lifestyle, whichever for which they are open for. Next. So, yeah, which is very important is now when you're doing this, please have a contact list book with you, which is a physical copy. They say that every professional will have a list book where they will use it to track their lead, to track their conversation. So, Eric Corey says that if you figure out a way to connect with people and start writing it down, a simple formula of adding three contacts every single day, by end of 1 year you will see that how many contacts you would have made, right? So it means you will never ever have to think about running out of prospects or running out of conversation if you can have a list book and if you can track your conversation. And the biggest 95% of people who quit DXN or who quit direct selling industry is because of not having a list book, not having a ever growing list book. So if you can use this art of prospecting, that is the three step framework, and start tracking it and start building a list book, when you open your list book, you will not be worried about what exactly, you will not have an way that I'm running out of people or I'm running out of prospects. You will always have the people who are looking out for growth, who are looking for health, who are looking out for transformation. So, very important is have your contact list book. Next. So, with all of this, I want to end this conversation or end this meeting by asking all of us who is attending this training, if I have to summarize everything, every conversation that you make can actually change people's life. Second thing is, when you are building DXN business, it is always important to have heart to heart conversation. And when you can have heart to heart conversation, when you can have a build a meaningful relationship, you will never run out of people who is ready for your opportunity. To do this, it is very important to take up this challenge of 21 days, where every day start with 30 new fans. It means find out 30 people every day, add to your contact list, and start the conversation, a genuine conversation with people. So every 30 new conversation you start in your online or offline, of course, it's a number game. Business is all about the average. So at least do a fine, meaningful conversation, that is a lot conversation, and at least ask five people if they're open for an opportunity or if they're open for a product. So if you can do this and track it for 21 days, you see how your growth will multiply. So I want to just break this down by implementing this activity, which I have just shared with you right now. I was able to collect nothing less than 300 plus contact, which I have tracked in my contact list, because of which I was able to personally sign up 30 plus people, distributors, because of which the business has grown into at least 1,500 plus people in my network. So now, what I have heard, and when I meet a lot of successful people in DXN, especially all the crown ambassadors, the one thing which I have asked all of them is how many people they have personally signed up. And what I see that is every crown ambassador has at least signed up 100 to 300 people. So if we have to sign up 100 to 300 people personally, and that's how the organization has went into big and it has multiplied, right? So if we have to personally do that, it means it is important to have a never ending list and to build a meaningful conversation. So my urge to all of you is start taking this challenge, and never have a mindset that you do not have prospects or you do not have people whom you can show the plan or whom you can show the product. So today you have got a 3-step framework of prospecting where you can start building meaningful connection and find out a way who's open for your opportunity and start showing the plan of DXN, start showing the gift of DXN to people so that we can create a lot of impact and people, and we can follow our guru's footsteps, where he keeps saying that his life is all about serving people. So even we can actually do that by actually doing this conversation, and we can also bring a lot of transformation and impact in people's life. So last but not the least, I want to end with uh, last slide. Mani, if you can help me with last slide. Last, I want to say that every conversation you start today can change someone's life, including yours. So, with this, I would like to take a leave and I would hand over the mic to Mr. Sam. Thank you so much for everyone for listening to me patiently. I hope I made a difference in your life today by sharing my knowledge of a skill of prospecting. And I'm still a student of it, and I'll keep learning, keep growing, keep recruiting. I urge you to do the same. Thank you so much.